morning, dear children. Today we will start with the last chapter of Geography, Human Resources. In the previous class, we have studied about natural resource and man-made resource. Now, can you guess what is the third type of resource? Yes, it is human resource. Now, what is the difference between the man-made and the human resource? Children, man-made things, it is the things which are made by man. But what is human resource? Human resource means human beings themselves. When the human being is healthy, well educated, and an earning member, it turns to be a human resource. With his ability, with his capability, he becomes an asset for the nation, for the country, and of course, for the society and the family. So today, we will study how a man or a woman becomes the human resource and how he adds to the income, to the per capita income of the country. So let's start with the explanation of this chapter. So children, we were talking about human resource. What is human resource? People are a nation's greatest resource. Nature's bounty only becomes significant when people find it useful. It is people with their demands and abilities that turn them into resources. Hence, human resource is the ultimate resource. Healthy, educated, and motivated people develop resources as per their requirements. Human resources, like other resources, are not equally distributed over the world. They differ in their educational levels, age, and sex. Their numbers and characteristics also keep changing. So children, human resources is the most important and ultimate resource. Healthy, educated, and motivated people, they develop resources as per their requirements. But this human resource, as you all know, it is not equally distributed all over the world. They differ. There is a difference in their educational levels, age, and sex, and their numbers and characteristics. It also keeps on changing. Distribution of population, as let's see where the population is high and where the population is low. So the way in which people are spread across the earth's surface is known as the pattern of population distribution. More than 90% of the world's population lives in about 10% of the land surface, and the distribution of population in the world is extremely uneven. So children, only 90% of the total population lives in only in 10% area, and the distribution, as I have told you, the distribution of population, it is uneven. That is, somewhere it is high and somewhere it is low. It's unevenly distributed. Some areas, they are very crowded and some are sparsely or thinly populated. The crowded areas are South and Southeast Asia, Europe, Northeastern North America. And the sparsely populated or thinly populated areas are people living in high altitude areas, tropical deserts, high mountains, and areas of equatorial forests. So these are the places where it is sparsely populated, and these are the places where it is densely or highly populated. So world population, you can see here the colorful figure depicting the world population by continents, as to in which continents how much % of population is living in which continent. Now let's look at some of the facts of this world. Many more people live north of the equator than south of the equator. So towards the northern equator, the population is high as compared to the southern part of the equator. Almost 3/4 of the world's people, they live in two continents of Asia and Africa. So world's most of the population lives in basically two continents, Asia and Africa. 60% of the world's people, they stay in just 10 countries, and all of them have more than 100 million people. So children, can you imagine 60% of the world's people, they stay in just 10 countries, and all of them have more than 100 million people. Now let's see the density of population. Population density is the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface. So children, this is the definition of the density of population. What does it mean? It means the number of people living in a unit area of the earth's surface. It is normally expressed as per square kilometer. The average density of population in the whole world is 45 persons per square kilometer. So the average density of population in the whole world is 45 persons per square kilometer. South Central Asia has the highest density of population, followed by East and Southeast Asia. So South Central Asia, it has the highest density of population, followed by East and Southeast Asia. Then quickly let's see what are the factors affecting distribution of population. As I have told you right now that the distribution of population is uneven all over the world. So there might be some reason, there might be some factors why it is unevenly distributed. So let's find out what are the various factors which affects the distribution of population. First, geographical factors. Under geographical factors comes topography. People always prefer to live on plains rather than mountains and plateaus, because these are the areas suitable for farming, manufacturing and service activities. The Ganga plains are the most densely populated areas of the world, while mountains like the Andes, Alps and the Himalayas are sparsely populated. So children, all of you are very much aware that the people prefer to live in plains than on mountains or plateaus. And the best example is the Ganga plain. It is the most densely populated area in the world, while the mountains like the Andes, Alps and the Himalayas, they are sparsely populated areas, because the people, they don't prefer to live in mountains. Then climate. People usually avoid extreme climates that are very hot or very cold, like Sahara Desert, polar regions of Russia, Canada and Antarctica. So climate is another factor which affects the distribution of population. People generally prefer to live in moderate climate rather than on extreme climate, whether it be a cold or a hotter regions. Now comes the soil. Fertile soil provides suitable land for agriculture. Fertile plains such as Ganga and Brahmaputra in India, Huanghe, Changjiang in China and the Nile in Egypt, they are densely populated areas. So another factor which affects is the soil. People prefer to live in the area where the soil is very fertile so that they can do cultivation. And the best example are the Ganga plains and the Brahmaputra plains in India, and Huangho, Changjiang in China, and the Nile in Egypt. These are the areas which are highly densely populated. Then another is water. People prefer to live in the areas where fresh water is easily available. The river valleys of the world are densely populated, while deserts have sparse population. So children, people prefer to live in the areas where the fresh water is easily available, as we all know that water is a necessary part of our life. So the areas near the river valleys, they are highly populated, while in the deserts the area is sparsely populated. Then another is minerals. Areas with mineral deposits are more populated, like diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East lead to settling of people in these areas. So another factor is the minerals, children. Areas which are having large mineral deposits, they are highly populated. Like the best example is diamond mines of South Africa and discovery of oil in the Middle East which leads to settling of people in these areas. Now comes economic, social, cultural and economic factors which also affects the distribution of population. So let's see what are social factors. Areas of better housing, education and health facilities are more densely populated. For example, Pune. So the areas which have better housing, educational facilities, health facilities, those areas are highly populated, and the best example is Pune. Then comes cultural factors. Places with religious or cultural significance, it attract people, like Varanasi, Jerusalem and Vatican City are some examples. So children, cultural factors refers to the places which have some religious or cultural significance. Those areas, they too have a lot of population, and the best example of these cultural places are Varanasi, Jerusalem and Vatican cities. Then comes the economic factors. Industrial areas provide employment opportunities. Large number of people are attracted towards these areas. Osaka in Japan and Mumbai in India are two densely populated areas. So children, the next is the economic factors. What comes under economic factors? Industrial areas, the area which have factories, they are highly populated. The reason is simple. The people get the jobs, they get the employment opportunities in these areas. So in search of jobs, they get attracted towards these areas, and large number of people, they are attracted to these areas or to these cities where the industries are being set up. Like the example is Osaka in Japan and Mumbai in India are two densely populated areas. So we all are aware, like Delhi, Bombay, all the metro cities where the more and more industries, the companies are there, these areas are highly densely populated, and lot of population is found in these areas. I hope children this much is very much clear about as to distribution of population and what does human resource mean. Go through the chapter, read the chapter thoroughly as it is an important chapter, and mark all the factors which affects the distribution of population, as this question is very important and it is likely to be asked in the exam. So go through the chapter, read the chapter That's all. Have a good day.